All right, y'all tuned into the Bankedoutt Radio Show. I'm your host, Andreas, a.k.a. Discover This, and we have a very special guest who decided to grace our presence today for today's show. Hey, you are a special guest. I have the one and the only Miss Moma Deee from Power 107.1.
What? Wait, don't start now.
Moma Deee, how you doing today?
I'm good. Great to be here. I can't believe I'm doing a radio show at 10 at night. I'm used to doing it like in the mornings.
Well, you don't have to work in the morning, do you?
No.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Irma coming through, so she kind of shutting things down, so you know.
Yes. What's the little joke now? They say Irma is chasing after the other one.
Harvey,
yeah.
And then they have another one. What is his name? Hosea, who's coming behind Irma. So yeah, y'all be careful out there.
Yeah, y'all definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Ooh.
Definitely need to watch out, and y'all stay safe out there.
Yes.
But I'm just excited, and I was glad. The 10 o'clock time. I had to pick a time spot that I could do consistently.
Okay, yeah.
And with everything else that I have going on, this just seemed like a good fit for the late night listeners, people who will wind it down and stuff like that. And plus, they can always go back and listen to it online as well.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up.
But for the ones who don't know you, in this particular podcast / radio show reaches 18 states and 5 countries.
Oh, that's what's up. So shout out to all 18 states and 5 countries that's tuning in right now.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Can you give us a little background of, what inspired you to get into radio and, how things been progressing, I guess, thus far?
Okay, so what inspired me to get into radio? Well, I went to college or school at Savannah State University, and so there, when I first started out, I thought I wanted to do business, and just because my dad was a business major, and that's all I knew. Okay. And so when I got there, I kind of got involved in some things or whatever, and I had a friend who had cameras and stuff, and I was like, "What's your major? Like, what are you doing?" And she told me her major was mass communications, radio, and TV, and I was like, "Really?" I was like, I might want to tap into that. Plus, in business, like anybody who knows me knows I'm not gonna say wild, but I like wild things like blonde hair and real extravagant type things. And so I was like, business too black and white for me. So changed my major to mass communications. And plus, one thing about me, I love to talk. So yeah, I started working at the radio station at Savannah State. Did a show. It was called The Dope Show, and ever since then, it was just kind of been history. And came home to Macon, and like a week after I graduated, I came to a radio station, Power 107.1. Crazy thing about it, I did not want to go to that radio station. I despised that radio station, yes. And ended up going there. The PD, he just had got there from Savannah, and I used to listen to him when I was at school in Savannah. And he found out I went to Savannah State, just graduated. He had just got there. He needed help. He was like, "Come on in." And so I started in 2014, and I've been there ever since.
Okay, and I was reading your bio off of the Willing Women Empowerment
page. Yes.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it said you started out as an intern.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you did that. I interned when I was I went to Fort Valley, so shout out to HBCUs.
My dad went to Fort Valley.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. I like Pops already. Wildcats. We used to play Savannah State prior to them moving to a different division.
Right. Higher division from you guys?
Yeah, well, but y'all might be a higher division, but you still have to tell everybody y'all still getting stomped.
Hey, chill.
New conference and everything, so.
It's all good. Like I said, look, HBC love.
Yeah, HBC love. But I like the fact that you did that. And I had an intern when I went to Fort Valley, and I got my degree in business with concentration in marketing. And I interned. I had to do like 300 some hours, and I did a counseling business at that particular time. But what I wanted to say is that it seems like today's youth don't see the value in putting in the work for something.
I agree.
When it's for free, but you get to tap into people's networks, resources, and then it could turn into something that's paid later.
Right.
On. Do you feel that, internships are valuable even in today's day and age?
Yes, I definitely feel like it, because one thing about it is you have to have that experience. And just graduating from college and you're trying to go into a job that you really want, that you got your degree in, if you don't have any experience, then they're gonna look at you and be like, well, sorry, you're not qualified. So and that's the crazy thing about it. You go to school for almost 5 years for this piece of paper just for them to say, oh, well, you're not qualified. So I definitely feel like interning at a business or a company is good. And see, for me, I didn't intern at a radio station when I did my internship. Like, I worked for a company, well, for my department at my school or whatever, and I did film. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I did more, and which I enjoy actually doing. So I did film work, like behind the scene work. So I didn't really get a chance to intern with radio and really seeing how it go and with so
the whole infrastructure of it.
Right. So once I graduated and I started working there, and I interned for 6 months. So from December up until maybe like June of 2015, I interned for basically free. Yep. And I really gained a lot of experience from it. Honestly, I did. And one thing about me, I love learning. Like, I'm a hands-on learner. So for me to be able to go and learn hands-on, I would be there from 6 o'clock in the morning to like 3 to 4 in the afternoon sometimes, just because I wanted to learn. Basically, right. And my mom used to be like, you need to quit. They not paying you, But I enjoyed it. I was learning a lot. I was going to free concerts, I was getting things, for free.
I think that's the thing too that a lot of people miss out on, is that you're following your passion. Yeah. And I tell people all the time, follow your passion. Yes. Don't let any naysayers and because it's not everybody else's passion. Yes. What you're doing in your life. Your life is your purpose and whatever you want to make it.
I agree.
And what you want to get out of it. So, definitely I encourage people to do that, and I love the fact that you did that.
And I just want to piggyback off of something that you said, that I do feel like with the generation coming, they want everything handed to them like easily, and it's like they want it to be easy, and then they want to get the credit for it, and it's like you just can't get the credit for it and think it's going to be easy. Like, you have to put in work for this, and for me, that shows me that, okay, you're serious about what you're doing. I don't feel like I should have to call you. I had interns from Fort Valley State. I had all different type of interns, and I really got to be able to see, really see, like, okay, I'm not finna call you and tell you need to be here, or tell you, okay, you need to do this. No, like, if this is what you want to do, show me this is what you want to do and do it.
Yeah, I definitely can agree with that, because I have interns here at the counseling business, and I'm sorry, this is what this building is.
Okay,
it's the mental health counseling. But yeah, I've had interns from Fort Valley, Mercer, all over. We have memorandums of understanding with a lot of different schools about us, the state, and we have bachelor level and master levels, because we have licensed therapists here as well. For the most part, I have to manage everybody, because I'm the business person, and that's what I do in the organization, along with 6 other things or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I tell them all the time, like, look, show me something that you can do, and take the initiative. I even tell them, now, if you can come in and prove that you're valuable, and even like create a revenue stream. It don't have to be a revenue stream that generates your salary, but just a revenue stream. I can work with that, and by the time you get done interning and graduate, I might just offer you a position or something.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But, I've had some that, have turned into positions, and then they went to use this as a stepping stone for something else. But then others, it's like you were saying, I don't know what it is. It's gotten too easy for them. There's no drive anymore.
Right.
And
social media taking over everything too. Like,
yeah, I think social media is everything, and that's life, and that's not.
Right.
I'm like, that's online. I'm like, that's obscurity. It's like a black hole.
Yep.
I understand the need for it, and it's a tool, and that's the thing they have to realize. It's a tool. Same thing when I have conversations about money. I tell people it's a tool. Money is a tool.
I need to learn that. It's a tool, Moma Deee. It's a tool.
It is though. It's a tool.
I'm learning.
But back to your corporate climb. Started out at the bottom. Like when you first get on this radio station, what is like an intro level position for most people?
Well, I don't know what other people's entry level position would be. When I first started, like I said, I started as an intern, and when I did get hired, I didn't start out on the radio right away. It was just kind of like, oh, she's just the office manager.
Well, that's why I was more important to because most people that think of radio think of O-line personalities, but I know that it's way more than that.
Yes,
it's a business structure. It's a company.
Yes.
So you have all different positions playing behind the scenes that help facilitate and help make things successful. Right,
and they would call me the glue at the radio station because I kind of hold everything together. Yes. So once everybody kind of figured out what I knew how to do, because they didn't know what I knew how to do, they just knew I was coming there. So once they kind of figured out what I knew how to do, it was like, oh, okay. So they started using me more for different things. And I always tell people I do more than talk on the radio. Being when I was the office manager, because I've been promoted to a new position now or whatever. So
congratulations.
Hello, thank you. But it was just my duty to make sure that I kind of managed everybody as far as in the jocks, making sure they knew where they were going for their remotes, making sure I kept check on the remotes and seeing with the sales account executives like what remotes they had that weekend, making sure their times were together, making sure I knew where the location was, and making sure the jocks knew. It was just a lot. Making sure we had all the banners and signage, making sure everything in the vehicle was together. It really was a lot. And then on top of that, working with the program director, dealing with music that's coming in, it was a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to get into that a little bit when we get back. We're gonna play a couple of independent artists because that's how we play here.
Yes.
Independent artists. But I know you have a love for them, and then your station also has a love for them as well. But we'll get back into that when we come back. This is A Green with New Money. All right, that was A Green with New Money, but we are back with Moma Deee. Definitely a dope person. So if y'all don't tune in to Power 107.1, then y'all need to if you're in the Middle Georgia area. Or actually, y'all can tune in because y'all have an app and everything.
We do, actually. And one of the DJs just sent me this little link or whatnot, telling us where people can live stream. Child, we had so many live streams where they can live stream us. It's like, okay, so what's the original? What's the one that really worked? But
the one that really worked.
Right, the one that really worked. So the one he sent us was myradiostream.com. So if you guys want to live stream the radio station, go to myradiostream.com.
Okay, and there you have it. Go to myradiostream.com. You can hear the Middle Georgia broadcast from Power 107.1 with Moma Deee and Lil G in the morning. It's so funny, because like I said, I listen to y'all in the morning when I do listen to the radio. I don't listen to the other two really. Now I will listen to Ricky Smiley's thing. Yeah. But I don't listen to Steve Harvey. I don't like that dude. But anyway, we'll get back in that in a minute. But now let me just go ahead and get into it. This is the reason why I listen to one. I like the fact that y'all are independent. Y'all not Clear Channel. Y'all not Cumulus, right? Y'all independent radio station. Yeah. So I understand that you have to compete with those two because of market share. Right. So that's why you play mainstream artists. But I have heard a lot of Middle Georgia artists and probably some from Atlanta and other places as well, being played on y'all's station. Right. Y'all BDS certified media based, all that stuff too. So it's great for them if they got their publishing and all that. Right. Yes. Registered and stuff. And that's what I love about it. The reason I don't listen to Steve Harvey shows is because I think he's a hypocrite to me. And you don't have to get political or nothing like that because I know you are a public figure, right? So you don't have to agree with me, disagree, whatever the case may be. But this is just me. I'm like, he has 8 million listeners tuned into his show. Right. The entire time Trump was campaigning, he would talk about his views or whatever. Then he turns around and goes and meets with the guy and says that, he's not that bad. Dude, everything you just campaigned for just went out the window.
But so you know what's crazy? I just read this probably like 2 or 3 days ago. Mm-hmm. He just came back and said he wished he never would have met with Donald Trump. Like, I swear, he did. He just came back and said, I wish I would have never met with Donald Trump.
Yeah, but too late to serve. Not me.
When it happened, when I read it, for some reason, I just kind of feel like everything in his career kind of like starts spiraling down, just like bit by bit.
Yeah, he was upset because of the initial reaction and stuff. Mm-hmm. What do you expect? I'm like, you just basically sold out your community.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what you did.
He was like, I should listen to my wife.
But you writing these books and everything, whatever, and getting these movie deals and stuff. But anyway. Yeah, that dude, he gets no respect. I don't like anybody who sell out our community when you sit there and you stand on something. Stand firm in what you believe in. That way I know where you stand. I don't need no wishy-washy person around me.
That's true now.
And I call him out. Most people probably won't because they don't like conflict. I don't care.
Yeah.
And, he can say, even if this breaches him or whatever, I don't care. He can say whatever he wants about me. I'm independent, so I don't care. But anyway, let's get back to Power 107. The fact that I love the fact that y'all support independent artists.
Yes.
And I want to get in to the process of what's the way that independent artists who really have something of value to offer can get played on the station.
What I usually tell the artists to do, just because I know our DJs are out in the community a lot, Super Dave, DJ Teddy, DJ Rain, they're out in the community. And Dave actually has a night, a Monday night, and it's called Mixtape Mondays, right? And so he wrote, what is it? Joe Gifted, before Joe Gifted came out with Water. Like, he brought Joe Gifted down the Mixtape Monday. Like, so Dave is really known too for doing a lot with the independent artists, and shout out to Partner B too. I always just tell him, talk to the DJs, and people always think that I am a DJ. Moma Deee is not a DJ, guys. I just talk on the mic and look pretty. That's my job, and I'm sticking to it. So, if they want to get their music on or whatever, I always tell them just hit up one of the DJs. Like, they're always at the station. You can always call to the station, and I have no problem with sending them their email, their phone number. They look for artists a lot of times to go on their mixtapes that they're doing and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I definitely think that's dope, and that you're one of the people in radio that actually, help independent artists. Because, there's a lot of people out there who won't help and who just won't give them that guidance. But I think a lot of them are lost, especially the new ones. Even some of the older ones I talk to and stuff, because I deal with a lot of them, just because of what I do. And I've done consultations, I do marketing strategies and plans and stuff like that. My first business was Bankedoutt Entertainment, and I formed that right before I graduated in 2006. And it was nothing but music promotions.
Right.
But people in this area had a hard time understanding what music promotions was. They were calling me like, "Man, you got a studio?" No, I don't have the studio. I'm for when your product is ready to go.
Right.
I'm going to show you how it should be marketed and stuff, because I love music.
Right.
But
they have to know how to make sure that their stuff is packaged as well. Like, guys, when you're trying to promote your music and stuff like that, like, at the end of the day, this is your product. Like, you're trying to sell this as an artist. If your music sounds like you've been in the closet trying to do an auto-tune, like, no, my brother.
Yeah, and then the packaging, like you said, like, don't bring me something.
Yes.
First of all, stop writing those CDs. I'm like, that's so tacky. No, for real, that's tacky.
No, that's true.
Yeah, it's like they don't want to put the money it takes. But I tell artists this all the time: you're doing three things. You're trying to build a career.
Right.
You're trying to build a brand, and you should be building a company. And you have to think, just because you might not have Def Jam money or capital or whatever the case may be, you're still going to be competing in the mindset of the consumers with those other artists. When consumers think of, okay, who is this person? Who he sounds like? Where's the similarity at? And I'm like, you have to apply yourself like that. But it just seems like, a lot of people want to jump into it, because I don't like the way, it's being sold. Music is being sold and packaged right now on TV. Like, all you got to do is, put out like 100,000 mixtapes or whatever. I'm like, ain't nobody gonna know your sound,
right?
Because they won't be able to get familiar with anything,
right?
Because you're putting out too much content at one time.
Yep.
And then all I gotta do is get on TV or whatever, reality TV show and stuff like
right.
that. Like,
and the people that they're finding on this reality TV, either they've been around, like these aren't just people that they're finding off of the streets.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these people either been around or they have some sort of little buzz going on in the entertainment. Right,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's not nobody just picked up off the street. Oh, I just found Cardi B,
She was out there grinding, even though she came from like Amber Rose, strip lane or whatever, she still had a name and she networked with people, and that's the thing I think they forget.
Yes, you have to network and really just. You can't, and that's something that I'm also learning too as well. Like I can talk, but my approach to people, like coming up to people, that's something I'm working on. But you really have to put yourself in those positions, in those areas, and know what's going on in my area. You know, you can go to Making Black pages. You know what I'm saying? Alex Habersham throws something like every first of the month on a Tuesday, like. Talk to these people who are in your community, you know what I'm saying? And even go to Atlanta, it's right up the road. They have so much that's going on. Like, I go up there every week almost.
Yeah,
but
they do have a lot, but me personally, I'm not from Macon. I'm originally from Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
But my wife, she's from Macon.
Okay.
And I fell in love with Macon. So prior to, just going to Atlanta or whatever, I do like to advocate for people. There's a lot of people in Macon doing stuff. You just don't know about it because it's not being broadcasted the way that it should.
Right.
I don't think there's a, huge budget for putting out this information out there, and people don't think of it that way. But I'm always networking with people.
Right.
All the time. Like, I walk up to people gas stations, it don't matter to me. But that's me in my personality. But I've worked in retail.
Right.
I've done sales. So, I'm accustomed to doing that.
Right.
But I try to tell all the different artists, a lot of them seem like they're more introverts. And they just want to be like, I just want to create. But I'm like, you can do that, but at the same time, it's not going to go anywhere because no one's going to promote you like you.
Right.
No one's going to be able to sell you like you.
Right.
So we have to wear different hats when we first starting off. Now, once you put that foundation down,
right,
then you can step out of that role of being sales or marketing or promotion or whatever and hire somebody and let them fill that role. But until you get something off the ground, it is what it is. It's it's like starting a business. You got limited capital, limited resources. So you got to put in a lot of groundwork. Oh, yeah,
learning. But it's fun though. It's fun.
So as we talk about that, let's talk about some of the stuff that you have going on.
Outside of radio. So outside of radio, I work with my friend. Her name is Breon Rozier, and
had her on the show.
Yeah, you had her on the show before. Yeah, so Breon, she started up this group called Willing Women Empowerment, and it's so crazy. Me and Breon grew up from elementary school together, but I hadn't seen her since I was in 5th grade. So when I graduated college, started working at a radio station. She was doing like a little give back for Christmas, and I donated some toys. I was like, I love what she's doing, and from there we just kind of linked up. She was like, Moma Deee, I want to start a women's group to empower women. Da 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 da. I was like, I'm down for that. Okay. So we linked up with that. Willing Women Empowerment started. We've been doing that for 3 years now. So
I've seen all the different pictures and stuff, and it's like y'all really get it going. I'm talking about. I can tell this particular event that y'all do. One
the tea party.
Yeah. Like one, it's thought of as far as like it's not something that just seems like it's just thrown together. Right. Because you could just tell when people throw stuff together, but then. Y'all put some money into this because I'm like, look, if you look at all the what you're serving, the venues, all that stuff takes capital and resources.
Shouts out to Breon. Like, I'm telling you, and that's why I love her so much, and that's why I'm kind of glad that God works in mysterious ways, but I'm glad that he brought us back together because she has a boss mentality. Like, her mindset, when she has an idea, I can tell her something, and tomorrow she'll have flyers. Yes, like once she get it, she's like, go. And I love that because I'm like, at the end of the day, you need people who will help push you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you need to get it done. Otherwise, you procrastinate and you wait. Then a year or two go by, you be like, dang, I wish I could. I wish I should have. You know. And so with her having that mindset and mentality, and see with her having that mindset, and with me just being like, okay, whatever you need me to do, like I'm on it. Like I put it in order, put it in place, like, you know. So both of us, we just work together very well.
Seems like a good mesh between, you know, the strengths and stuff.
Yes. So, yeah, and then on top of that, she just started a boutique. It's Black Rose Boutique and Glam Shop, and so basically it's a place where we want ladies to come get their makeup done, you know, relax, feel beautiful when they leave. Just somewhere for them, like y'all have the barbershop and all this type of stuff. We have the Glam Shop. So she started that in June, and it's been doing very well. And on top of that, I started my own t-shirt line, Royal Dynasty, of course, which is named after myself. And it's an inspirational women's t-shirt line. I'm trying to tap into the men. I've had guys hit me up about shirts too. So, but you know, I'm so pro female, like I'm for my ladies,
well,
you know.
You know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, doing that, and I think that's a very underserved market anyway, as far as like women empowering each other.
Right. Yes.
So has it really gotten to the point to where you really need to do men right now? Not
really, but I mean, I've had just a couple, maybe like 5 or 6 just really begging me, but I would wait till that demand get to like 100, 200, 300 before. That way, you know, you got guaranteed sales because you got this demand. Exactly. And then it gives you more time to establish the brand, and you know, because I'm sure there's a lot of other women out there who probably haven't heard of it, who need to hear about it, or it can serve as a, you know, inspirational purpose. Because I've read some of the sayings and stuff. And was it one of them was something in slay? What's the new thing everybody keeps saying? Wait.
It was one of them that said something with the word slay on it. It was like 3 words. I can't remember.
Hold on, you meant Pretty Girls Pray.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, that one. I thought
we have Pretty Girls Pray. We have Blessed and Bougie.
Okay, I like that one too. Blessed and Bougie. That was definitely dope.
This, what is it? If you're reading this, you're blessed. And so that comes from Drake. You know, his whole album cover. And I have Royal Dynasty. And this is one Royal Dynasty that I have on right now. And actually, I'm about to get ready and drop a camo collection. So camouflage shirts, like a whole camouflage collection, different designs and stuff.
I guess No Limit highlight. You know, when they was doing all like camouflage fatigue and stuff, sort of like that.
Oh, I really don't know. I haven't watched the No Limit like video. My mama didn't let me watch some videos when I was growing up. I couldn't watch BET Uncut.
So you didn't see Daily's tip drill there?
No, I didn't see tip drill. My mama was not cut that TV off at 8:00. So yeah, I was sneaking trying to watch stuff, but yeah.
So out of those particular, I think you just mentioned 4, maybe 5 shirts. Which one seems to be the one that the women gravitate towards the most? The
most is Blessed and Bougie.
Okay, yeah.
And Pretty Girls Pray.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the 2 that especially Blessed and Bougie. That's like one that everybody, you know, it's like, oh, I want that one. That's cute, you know. And really, it's not. When people see bougie, a lot of times they think, you know, sadiddy. But really, in this situation, is confident. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't think that, okay, I'm just bougie, like high end. No, not even. I'm blessed. God has favor over my life. I'm bougie because I'm confident in my walk and what I got going on. So yeah,
I think they're needed because there's way too many people around here walking, especially, well, you know, just people in general walking with their heads down and stuff. I don't get that. I can't. That don't sit well with me. When I was at Fort Valley, I used to see people walking on campus and like, how you walk with your, like, looking at the ground? I'm like, you want to look at people in their eyes and be like, hey, how you doing? Stuff like that, you know, because you never know who you might meet and, you know, where they will be, you know, 6, 7, 9 months later.
The confidence level, definitely. And then, you know, on top of that too, I feel like with, once again, social media, how everything is portrayed, you have, you know, women, you know, with the long weaves, the plastic bodies and stuff like that. And a lot of times people like, if I don't look like that, then I'm not attractive, I'm not beautiful. And, you know, I I went through a period of time in my life too where I kind of was like, dang, like I always was the thick friend, you know, or whatever. And well, I had some thicker friends too, but you want to be a certain size, you feel like you'll be accepted, or men would like you better if you know what I'm saying. And it's just like, girl, a man gonna want you if he wants you. I don't care if you got 6 or 7 biscuit rolls hanging off your body, honey. He gonna get you. Just know that. So definitely, I always tell people, like, don't look at social media and what you see on there, because to me, it's not real.
Yeah,
it's not real.
It's really not. You know, it's all these ideals and stuff that they throw around, and I don't. Yes. Where do you think that comes from, though? Because prior to, like, you know, Facebook being big and stuff like that, that's something I've always seen, just portrayed in like media, magazines, videos.
For some reason, I feel like once the whole Kim Kardashian kind of came out with, you know, the big butts, and I don't know, like, because even when we growing up, you seen people like Aaliyah, she didn't have on no clothes, but that was her real body. You know, it wasn't like plastic surgery, and not only that, but men seem to, you know, attract to that. You know, if I was walking on the side of the street next to a girl with a body like Kim K, 9 times out of 10 he gonna want to talk to the girl that looks like Kim K. You know, and it just, I feel like it just attracts better to men. You know, and so that's what, of course, women want. I want a man to look at me. So yeah, but I don't know why everybody feels like they have to do that. And I'm glad, one person I'm glad who took a lot of butt out of their butt is K Michelle. Like, she had like a very naturally nice body, and she took a lot of that, whatever she had back there, and she took it out, and she looks nice, even with Black China.
Yeah, and I was gonna say she did it too.
People have to realize too that these people have money, so when they have these babies and stuff like that, trust me, they don't just snap back. They have a surgery that once they have that baby, the doctors are coming in there sewing them together to give them their little tummy tuck. But that's things that we don't see. We just like, dang, she got a snapback. Beyonce, like, nah, baby girl.
Or they got, you know, a personal trainer or someone there to motivate them.
Some people too, yes. Some people do.
They do it that way, you know.
Yes, I will agree with that. Some people do have personal trainers.
Okay, well, we're gonna get back to some more stuff and, you know, talk about some other ventures that you got coming up.
Sure.
After this song, real quick. But anybody out there listening in internet land, I know a lot of people that were talking about it on Facebook and stuff, so I'm sure they just clicked on the link as opposed to dialing in.
Right.
But y'all can do so if you want to. You got any questions for Moma Deee, let us know. 917-889-8041. But this is Billy Sloan with Carrie Dangerous. Back, and that was that Billy Sloan with Carrie Dangerous, Dictate. So y'all make sure y'all go and peep that out. Hello, what are you on?
Facebook
you on Facebook Live? I know
yes.
You on Instagram Live or Facebook Live. You know, I'll be going live, you know, but most of the time when I go live, I'll be ranting about stuff, and people like just be talking about people and stuff like that. So.
No, so I had to tell this story right quick. So when I first started on radio, right, you know, I was given the entertainment section for the show, which I still have my entertainment section every morning, 7:45. You can tune in or whatnot, and I will never forget receiving this message. It was like, "Who's the girl? Who's the lady on Power 107.1?" So I'm just like, you know, somebody's asking, trying to figure out who I am, whatever. So my boss tells me, he was like, "Moma Deee, you have to be careful what you say." And I was like, what did I say? So I'm reading the message, and what's your radio name, Will?
Well, okay, it's not really a radio name, it's more of an artist name.
Okay, what's your artist name?
Discover This.
Okay, so Discover This gonna hit me up and was just going on about how what I had said something about the dude from Charlotte. That's what that was, and he had killed those black people, and they were saying he had like mental illness or something. Yeah, and I was just like, he got more than the mental illness. Like, he need help. Honey, I read the message that Discover This wrote me, and I was trying to figure out who he was. At first, I thought it was a female, because I'm just like, she don't know me. I just started radio, you know what I'm saying? And once I figured out who it was or whatever, I I just really remember, like, I really want to fight him. I really want to fight.
Person.
Right. I was like, I really want to fight him. Like, they don't know me. They're never to disrespect me. I just started radio, you know. And then it was crazy because you wanted me to come on your show to interview me. I was like, this is a setup. I'm not going. It's not going.
Not no setup. But no, it's just because, you know, like I said, I work in mental health, have a counseling business, so I know the impact of words and like how our community don't treat the issues at hand as far as how serious they are. So like sometimes when people say something, they could be dismissive about mental illnesses and, you know, just therapy in general. It's already bad enough when I go out and I'm in the field that I have my whole display set up and people come up to the table and they're like, oh, what organization you represent? I'm like, you know, Southern Center for Choice Theory. That's the company name. And then I was like, what is that? I was like, it's mental health counseling. And they just walk away. Oh, I don't need nothing there. I'm not crazy. I'm like, oh, first of all, it's not about being crazy.
Right.
It's about being mentally fit and prepared so when you do experience something in life, you have the tools necessary to be able to get you through that trauma or whatever it might be.
Right.
Because we're not equipped in that way. And you know, our people, we need a lot of help.
It's a lot of mental ill people, I feel like, that are out there that don't know that they could possibly have this illness. Honestly, just read a story about a dude, and maybe he's not mentally ill. So, but the dude from Pepsi, did you hear about that? So, a guy working for Pepsi or whatnot, he had AIDS, and he ended up contaminating some of the products, with, you know, his blood. And he recently just came out to tell them that, you know, I contaminated some of the products, Pepsi, 7-Up, Sierra Mist, like, and it was like, why? I don't understand why would people do that. Like, you know, what is going through your head to say, okay, well, I'm hurting, so I want to put other people in danger as well. You know?
Well, you know, I'm not a licensed therapist, so, you know, I have licensed therapists that work for me, but I'm not a licensed therapist. Right. But I do get the benefit of, like, receiving a lot of information and, you know, stuff that they do. But I'm like, you know, we don't know what's going through people's heads at the time.
Right.
And
it's crazy.
It's dealing with something. He has something that he's dealing with in life that he can't process that. And that's why I was saying that, you know, we have to learn how to process information. Right. No matter if that information is good or if that information is bad, we have to just learn how to process it. And that's why I tell people, especially in our community, because we're not equipped when people try to label people. And we don't label people as far as when we interact with individuals and stuff like that. One, we don't say people are bad either. We just say people make bad decisions.
I agree.
The same thing with kids too. Like I run it. Like I have 8 kids.
You have 8?
Yes, 8.
Oh Jesus!
6 girls, 2 boys.
Oh Jesus! Take the wheel. Take it, Lord. Take it.
And like when I hear other parents like, "Oh, it's just bad. It's just bad." No, stop saying that because you don't know what you're doing psychologically to your child when you say that to them.
Yelling at
and
them.
You're planting seeds.
Yes.
Like seeds. Have you ever seen the movie Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio? Okay, anyway, away.
I think I have though. No, because then they be slow. Yeah.
And like we plant these little seeds into people and we don't realize it, and that can turn into, you know, a nice tree, or it could turn into, you know, something we didn't have the intentions of. It turning into. Yeah. And I tell them like, no. First of all, we can't expect children to behave like adults because they're not. So we need to come to realistic expectations, right, about dealing with children. Then we have to learn how to talk to them. We have to get down on their level. Like, if you ever notice, like, especially with toddlers and stuff, with my kids, and I'm not the perfect parent by no means, but I've learned a lot of things along the way. And, you know, with my wife helping reiterate a lot of different things. You have 8,
so you're doing something right.
Yeah, and they're very well-behaved kids now, for the most part, but they also do kid stuff.
Right, yep.
But like if I want my toddler to do something, instead of just yelling at them, pointing down at them, I get down on one knee and I look at them eye to eye. Totally different response out of the child, as opposed to just yelling at them or wanting to hit them or whatever the case may be. And like I used to be a firm believer in corporal punishment. I don't really whoop my kids anymore. One defects got a problem with people whooping their kids, and we do a lot of business with defects. So
we got toe whoop. My mom didn't care, punch you in the back, in the lip.
I got that too. I got stuff with hangers, clothes irons, whatever the case would be.
Right.
Ironing board. I done the ashtray. I had an ashtray thrown at me.
Oof.
Yeah.
See, you a boy, so.
Yeah, and that's the thing too.
That way.
Well, yeah. Well, I understand. Treating the females different and raising them different as opposed to males and all that stuff, and that's a whole another set of issues, whatever. But just to be able to have the tools and to equip ourselves, and not to be, don't be, just because we didn't get the tools that we needed doesn't mean that we can't get them and attain them now.
Right.
A lot of people are shameful and they get defensive, right? When too much information comes away, or they don't know how to process the situation, right? So when we tell them, there's other alternatives. I'm not saying that timeout works for everyone. Sometimes corporal punishment, but I have 8 kids. I have eight different personalities.
Right.
What goes for one doesn't go for the next one.
That's right.
So I have to learn to adapt. I'm the older one. I'm the adult of the situation. So I don't need to get stressed out or whatever and do something that I would have regret.
Come sit down.
Yeah, So I've learned to have a lot of patience nowadays and stuff. So I just don't like the stigmatism mental health has in the black community, especially because in other communities they go to therapists, they go to shrinks. They're not looked upon as, it's like casual conversation. Like Becky be talking to, I don't know, Amy or whatever, and they're like, yeah, I went to my counselor today, and she said, oh yeah, and they're supportive in the dialogue. We try to open up and say something to our to whomever, and they want to label us and then spread gossip and all that stuff. And I'm like, we just have a wrong mentality about a lot of stuff.
Right. Yes.
And
we don't want nobody to tell us, nothing we don't want to hear. I feel like if anything, we're afraid of the truth.
We are as a community as a whole. Yes, we are afraid of the truth.
Of the truth. And we don't, like you said, we don't know how to process it. We don't know how to accept it. But everybody keep it 100, keep it real. But when people do that, then it's, I'm finna go get my Glock and I'm finna shoot up, And there's a whole issue.
With that, I take issues with that too. I take issues with people always wanting to fight, or if you have a dispute and you feel that you have to fight, just duke it out. Ain't no need in loss of life,
right?
Because everybody has the potential to be something amazing.
Yes,
we all have the potential. There's somebody out there who probably that'll open up another kind of words. But anyway, I was gonna say this. It could be somebody out there who has the potential to cure AIDS, which I think they already got the cure. Whatever, they just not giving it to us.
We said the exact same thing today. Yes, it's so crazy. We said the exact same thing
I don't
today.
want to be labeled as conspiracy theorists, but there's a lot of information out there that what they teach is, and just basic stuff or whatever, you should be able to derive a different conclusion.
Right.
I'm all into that. Now I don't believe everything I read on Facebook and all that stuff. I'm not going to do my own research, but some things just don't make sense.
Right. Yeah.
Even with these hurricanes or whatever. A lot of people. What? I can just bounce from topic to topic. That's what I do. I'm like Picasso in the brain or whatever. It's everywhere. Even with the hurricane situation, there's HARP, and that's a real program. And this particular program, you can go and find videos where they're talking to, meteorologists and just scientists who deals with the atmosphere and stuff like that and manipulating it. And they have successfully manipulated ions into the atmosphere, 600 miles up. And dealing with whichever region of atmosphere and what that's called. Now, I'm not saying that there's this huge satellite or whatever, because I know there's some movie or whatever being promoted where they shoot down beams or whatever and make hurricanes. But we could come to that conclusion.
Aliens are taking over.
What I'm saying is that if they've developed this particular capability to manipulate the atmosphere,
right?
My question is, what are you using it for? So that's a big old question mark. And you have all these other scientists saying that, other research projects where they're using lasers to, make conditions to where water vapor comes out of the clouds and stuff that are already there. It's just not raining, but they manipulate it to make it rain. So if they doing that, I mean, there's a lot to this stuff that we just don't know.
Yep. I told them I think they're just trying to wipe us off the earth, to make more space and room.
I do believe that.
And
just from a number standpoint, we have 7 billion people on the earth. We're not going to be able to sustain, this type. And they say by 2050, I believe, we're supposed to be up to 12 to 14 billion or something like that. There's no way with our natural resources we can sustain a population growth like that.
Right.
So, they're probably... I'm like, if there was experimenting on the Tuskegee Airmen, and we had Dolly, the sheep that got cloned back in the 90s.
Yeah.
There's stuff going on that,
we, like I said, we don't know about.
That we don't know about, or we just don't want to see the truth in.
True that.
Therefore, it's easy to live in your own bubble.
Right.
And think that, life is one way when, I tell my kids all the time, life is this. It's a little bit black, a little bit white, whole lot of gray. Whole lot of stuff. It's just more complex and multi-layered with issues and stuff like that.
Well, I told him I think that God is trying to give us a sign. Animals running loose. You got tigers in Atlanta, zebras. The alligators don't got loose in Texas. We got hurricanes in the waters. I'm just like, all right, y'all, come on, you better get it together. But I was just trying to be funny, but
Yeah, but no, there's truth in everything. I think there's truth in all the different movies that are put out there. Because where would you get this information from? But that's another topic, another story.
Right.
We could do that on another show stuff. But more about yourself.
Okay, yeah.
So you have the T-shirt line.
Right.
What else? Or I guess the better question would be: do you see where radio now is more about not only you being a personality, but now more about you being a brand as well? Do you see or feel that it going in that direction?
To be honestly, I don't know. I don't know how I want to answer this. So I've always told people when they say, "Oh, that's Moma Deee, that's Moma Deee," people get so hyped. But to me, I'm just like, y'all, I'm just like a normal person, just like y'all. Like I'm not Oprah Winfrey or nothing like that. But I have people who consider me to be famous or a town celebrity.
Because, in essence, you are because of the branding aspect of it. That they always get to hear your voice,
right?
And then they get to see you at events. So, and you're working for the radio, and people don't know how the radio works, right?
Right.
It's not like, hey, there's a store right here. Come fill out an application. Come work at the radio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's more, I tell people all the time, because the radio is a part of entertainment, so it's more of a network your way into the type of industry.
Yes.
As opposed to, you can go get a job at Starbucks or whatever, because where Starbucks is, and they got an application process, Target, whatever.
People always ask that. They're like, "Are y'all hiring?" And I'm like, it's not like you just come up there and you have an interview. And I always tell them, well, we always looking for sales people, and people be like, I could do that. And, I'm just like.
I don't think people really ready for sales.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level. And but I don't know. I guess I just coming in, I just always told myself, like, just be humble. If God blessed me to get to the level, then I would just be humble. And even if I continue to go higher, like, I just never want people to look at me as like this big whatever, because at the end of the day, like, I'm not saying I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna just be on the same level as them, but I want them to know, like, y'all, I'm just like you, like, I'm no different than you are, so don't look at me like that, if that makes sense.
They can do it too. So
yes, and that's my whole thing. That's why I love going to the schools and everything, because I'm all for dreams. I'm all for dreams. And one thing, I had a friend in college. He used to say, reach beyond the sky, reach for the universe. And I would say that, like, okay, they say the sky is the limit, but why just stop at the sky when you can go for the universe?
Yeah, because it's a big old universe.
Right, and so that's just my thing. If you just put in the work and everything, and have faith. That's another thing, I just, I'm a spiritual person, if you cannot tell. But
no, I can tell. but there's nothing wrong with that.
I just try to stay positive. That's one thing I definitely try to do, because otherwise you start getting negativity in your mind, and then next thing you know, you're just crazy.
Yeah, so, I'm a big component of energy.
Yeah.
I believe in negative energy. I believe in positive energy. Positive attracts positive. Negative is going to attract negative.
Yes.
And when you change your mindset about something and you put your mind to something, all that negative that you did have in your life will fall by the wayside, because people they don't want to be around you anymore.
Right.
Because I think it's a constant reminder, because you're out here, you're working, you're chasing your dreams, and if you got someone who's just sitting on the couch who started with you or whatever, and they're not chasing their dream, they're gonna be like, they'll actually become your hater or whatever.
Yeah,
the case may be.
yeah.
And, but they'll fall by the wayside, because they'll, in essence, we all have to have our own self-reflection. Yes. We all have to be like, okay, regardless of people saying they want to accomplish this or whatever, or being nonchalant and thinking that they don't care about anything, they do. At the end of the day, they gotta lay down. They gotta they're in their head.
Yeah.
And they gotta hear themselves and be like, you're not doing anything with your life.
That's true. So. And I definitely, and even with just branding, with me being on the radio, one thing I can say is, coming into radio, my boss, one thing he told me is like, all right, Moma Deee, you being on the radio, so the way that you appear on social media when you out in public, like, people are going to see that, and they're going to judge you off of that. So it doesn't matter, how cute you think you are, nothing. People not going to care about that. They're going to care about what they heard you say, or how you look, that type thing. So I just always, is a constant reminder, like, be mindful of the things that you say, and just, when I'm going places, how I act, my behavior. A lot of times people don't know who I am, and I actually like that, because I like to stay low key. I like to stay under the radar. I feel like the less people know what I look like, that's cool, because I like to get ratchet sometimes, Well,
I can tell the personality's there, so, and then, like, I've watched some of your videos and stuff, and not saying that your videos are bad, but I can tell that, you have to have the opportunity to let loose. Yeah. Because, it's sort of like, you're a politician on one hand, or you get that realm of it, because people will prejudge you. Yes. And which I don't think, it's fair, but it's part of the industry. Yes. I know, the more networking I do out there, whatever, the more that people can say about me, but my position is a little bit different. I don't have to. The only person I have to answer to is myself. Right. You have a brand that you represent outside of yourself. Right. The radio station, and that could be a devastating blow to you if it came to terms where something collided. Yes. So I definitely get that, but like I said, I'm a big advocate of people shouldn't put other individuals in boxes either. Yes. Allow people to express themselves, and because I'm like, hell, Trump could run for president and say all the stuff he did. Nobody else should be able to get in trouble for anything. Right. But that's just me. That is me. True. But yeah, there's double stereotypes and all that stuff, whatever. So we'll go and get into that here in a moment. But before we get into that, and I want to play another song from some more independent artists while I'm talking about that. Who are you feeling like right now as far as this coming up, or this doing a thing here in the Middle Georgia area? Artists
that I know, one person I can say I've seen him like from the bottom is this dude named Bob Lennon. And I met Bob Lennon when I just had started in the radio business doing Mixtape Mondays with Super Dave, and Bob had just started coming or whatever, and I've seen him work his way from just coming. Now he's going to different radio stations like Florida, Atlanta, Tennessee. Like, he's traveling. He's doing very well. And I feel like another thing is too, when artists they start out, they feel like, oh, I got automatically get on the radio. But low key, these little like little things like Spinrilla and these like little internet, like, you need to be trying to get some streams going on, like, get your name out in the record. Exactly, like, people need to know who you are, I feel like, before you get on the radio, because you get on the radio, then we be like, well, who is that? So, and sometimes sometimes when we do play a lot of independent artists, you know, people are like, well, who is this? Who is this? Who is this? You know, so I do believe in having a buzz going on first before you feel like I just need to jump on the radio.
Okay. Anybody else besides Bob Leonard?
Bob, we have this one guy that I know, Brother Haitian. Everybody is going crazy over Brother Haitian, and he's been doing very well too. So I'm very proud of him as well. We have this guy, Young Bezo. I know Young Bezo. He hangs out with like Partner B and stuff like that. He got pretty cool music, but yeah, only a couple of them.
How about this? Is there anybody out there that you think that deserves to be on the radio that's not on the radio?
I directed a video with this girl. Her name is Nina, and she has this song.
I have to reschedule my interview with her. I actually had set one up with her, but she wasn't able to make it at the time.
So I had a chance to direct her video. Shouts out to Black Rose. We did her wardrobe, her makeup, her hair, her accessories, like all of that. And her song, I was very, very impressed.
Oh yeah, I like that song. I'll play it.
Really? And it's crazy because she called up to the radio station, I remember, and she asked to speak to our program director, and we thought she was a little girl. And it was like, who is this little girl calling up here? Like, shouldn't you be in school? But come to find out, she's older than me. You know, but she just has like this little voice.
Yeah.
And shooting the video, and I was listening to it, I was like, I like this song. Like, this is nice. Like, I can hear this being on the radio. And actually, shouts out to DJ AD. He has taken her song and he does he's with Coalition DJs.
Okay.
So he plays her records. Like, I've been to Atlanta. He's played some of her record in a club. I had other DJs hit me up about her record and stuff like that. So I told her, you got something good going on, but you need to make sure that you know the legal stuff behind it. You know, get it published, or you know what I'm saying, whatever you need to, registered and everything like that. So when they do play your song on the radio, you can get your money.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, shouts out to Nina with her Too Lit song.
All right, well, hey, since you like that song, we'll go ahead and get into that one real quick. This is Nina, Too Lit.
Yes.
Endorsed by Moma Deee. Here on the Bankedoutt Radio Show.
Yeah.
All right, that was Alexis Ayana with Get It Right. Y'all tuned into the Bankedoutt Radio Show. We have Moma Deee here with us, just having a good time, chopping it up.
Yes.
Whenever, it's a 2-hour show, so I go to 12 o'clock. If you feel like you can keep going to 12 o'clock and everything.
Oh, cool. I'm here. I'm your guest. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I signed up for, I'm here.
The funny thing about that is, like, when I have different people that I call, and sometimes I do phone interviews if they're out of state, and for those particular guests. I think the furthest one I've had was someone in Britain. It was a 5-hour difference, so I had to figure out the next little time slot. Yeah. I tell them, like, one is a 2-hour show, and then I'm like, 2 hours. I'm like, but it's so easy if you have something.
Right.
You have stuff.
Right.
Some other people, like I interviewed a girl from Alabama. She's a producer. She's 17 years old in high school.
Oh, wow.
And she makes her own music, and I didn't realize she had more music out there than what she had sent me, because she only sent me like her latest project. But going into the interview, I learned there was a whole lot more that she had done. But it ended up being like, a 45-minute interview.
Okay.
So, hey, you like to talk, I like to talk. Yes. 2 hours ain't nothing. But getting into all the different stuff that you got going, we're going to get on back on that real quick. I don't know if you want to tell people, about your newest venture that you have coming up.
Oh, well, they can't see my facial expression right now. Like, yeah.
They'll catch the interview,
right.
The physical interview, the visual online. So
yes, make sure y'all watch the visual so y'all can see how crazy I really am. But so working on a lot of things. My newest project that I am working on is a TV show, and it's called The Dope Show. And so, of course, when you first hear the word dope, you think about drugs, and actually the Dope Show came from my radio show back when I was in college, and I didn't even come up with the name, like, and so anyways, the Dope Show is The Dope Show is where dreams often pursue excellence. And basically, it's just a show centered around people who are, following their dreams, honestly, and who really are out there doing things in the world, in the community. Like, I want to talk to people who are inspiring other people to be great and, do great things. Like, that's what I'm for. Like I said, I'm all for positivity, and that's what the Dope Show is basically going to be. So I'm excited about it. Teamed up with my friend Breon once again, so she's gonna have a segment on the show as well, and it's gonna be called The Breakdown. So we're still trying to keep around, saying they dope, even though we don't do dope. Hey, crack is whack, don't do that. Okay. But so it's gonna be The Breakdown with B Rozier. And so basically with The Breakdown, she wanted to have something where she wanted to do like The View, when it's a whole bunch of women talking and everything. And so we're gonna have just topics, different little discussions or whatnot, but still trying to keep it centered around, inspiring people and things like that. But I feel like it's different topics, like with us being women in the world, in entertainment, I feel like it's a male dominant world.
Yeah,
and
so I get that a lot with a lot of female guests. And
yes, yeah. Men think they taking over, but guess what, ladies, we are coming for y'all. We are coming.
Hey, that's fine. In this particular business, I work with two other women who are my business partners, so I'm used to working with women. And then on staff, as far as payroll, it's only me and.
So you used to women though?
Oh yeah, I'm used to women.
See, that's a good thing.
And I like the. It just feels different. It does. But now, like, there's certain days where I'm not here because I come and go as I please.
Right.
I don't have a set schedule or whatever. But I'll come in one day and they'll be like talking or whatever, and I know it's a woman-driven conversation or whatever.
And get quiet.
No, I don't get quiet. I just go into my office or whatever, do what I need to do, and then I leave. Hey, okay, y'all have fun. Y'all keep on doing what you do. I'm not going to disrupt y'all's process because I'm not going to get into all that. And even when I worked at Norfolk Southern for 6.5 years, something like that, and that was it was more diverse or whatever, and we had cubicles or whatever. It was like 100 or something people on the floor, but it was split between this particular region and that region, and even my own little section. It was very diverse, and you had women driven conversation, but then a man's perspective on that particular conversation and stuff. So, but I'm all for women empowerment. I want women to do what they need to do. I think we have more women in leadership positions than all these different ways that we look at things as far as problems and just solving problems in general. It's a different perspective from a woman. A woman can put a lot of things in perspective. And then they can just give you a lot of things as a male that you don't necessarily even think about.
Right.
Yeah, so, I like to vibe off the two or whatever. I'm all for that. I don't like the glass ceiling. But I'm a huge, I'm a huge woman's advocate, especially a black woman. I think that black women in generally are not praised enough. Not
I'm glad, you know what? I'm glad I ain't getting a fight with you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I ain't want to fight you.
I don't think they're given the opportunities because black women are still the most highly educated as far as when you look at class of races within their group, but still the least underpaid. And I just hate that.
We're not gonna even talk about underpaid.
Underpaid, and all the things that you have to go through, and just rising to the top. And when a woman is strong, some men, have their inferiority complex or whatever, and just think that she's just being bitchy or whatever, the angry black woman syndrome or whatever that case may be. When it's not even that, I'm like, you have to think about all the stuff she has gone through to get to where she is.
Oh, Jesus.
And
I started working in radio, and of course, the answer was, well, how did you get there? Or who did you sleep with?
And that's the thing. I'm like, you shouldn't have to reduce somebody's work ethic to something like that. You wouldn't say that about a man. Right. And hell, truth be honest, I'm like, you have a lot of mediocre white men out there who got all these positions. They suck at what they doing. You wouldn't make it in my world to be able to do all these multiple things and do multiple things in an excellent way. And you wouldn't survive in the jungle.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't even understand. Like,
no, they don't.
I don't even want to get into that, but yeah, they don't even understand. But I definitely I'm all for women, and that's one thing I want us to do more of is stick together. Like growing up, one thing about it, my mama always taught us you treat people nice and things like that, and I love compliments. I love when people give me compliments. So I give them, back out because I feel like at the end of the day, it makes you feel good. And as a woman, I see it so often where when you come into a building, you have other women looking at you, staring you up and down, and it's just like, okay, boo, if I look good, just say, girl, you wearing that or you doing this, instead of you just looking at me and staring me, mugging me. So now I'm like, what's up, so you trying to fight or what? I'm sorry, like I really don't fight a lot. Like I'm really not.
You're more civilized than that, but
but
I get.
It's just like we shouldn't have to do that when we go out somewhere. And like I said, I love giving out compliments. So I do believe in if you look good, I get credit what credit due. Even if I don't even like you and you don't like me and you my enemy, if you look nice, I'm gonna let you know you look nice.
I think that those underwritten rules or non-written rules in life. I think that we're missing a lot of those in today's time and age. I talk to my nephews and nieces all the time because all of them have graduated from high school or in that transition of adulthood and becoming independent and trying to get there. And I'm like, y'all missed out on a lot of stuff. And the crazy thing is, like, they always label me for speeches or Uncle Andreas. You always giving us speeches and stuff. And like they'll all tell you, all of them, no matter who they are, whichever one of them, they all give you the consistent story. I was giving these speeches and stuff. I'm like, hell, if I don't give it to you, who's gonna give it to you?
But by the time you're done with that speech, I bet you they're gonna remember something. They may not remember the whole speech, but at least something is gonna stick with them.
Eventually, I figure it'll sink in one day.
Yeah,
and because I tell them I'm not gonna give up. I'm like, y'all don't understand. My willpower is way more than all y'all could put combined. I tell my kids that too. And like one of the things I tell them is that when they graduate from high school, they have two options. They can either what
go to college or go to the military.
No. Okay. See, you know what? That was funny because Ashley Kirkland, who I had on the last week's show, she said the same thing. The military. I don't know why. I guess I have a militant type presence about me.
No, that's what my parents told me. You going to college or you going to the military? Pick one.
I don't advocate my kids going into the military. Not this. I'll just due to the country should really support its veterans better than because they sacrifice a lot.
I see a lot of those on the side of the road.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say those, but like veterans on the side of the road, and it really makes me feel some type of way. It's just like, wow.
You just discard people, and I'm like, you should be taking care of these people. I'm like, they should be like living in some nice little something for the rest of their life. Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you go to war, dude. You've gave your part to the country.
Right.
That's the only reason why I don't, really advocate them doing that. But what their choices and options are, you either go to college, or if you don't want to go to college, you can start a business. And the money that I save for you going to college will be your seed money to start your business.
See, that's good right there.
And they don't have to be like quote unquote successful, because my definition of success is different from most people's. Most people's definition of success is, you got to have all these materialistic things. Mine is achieving the small goals to get to the big goal.
And that is so true. I was just having this conversation with myself, actually, because my whole thing is I want to be successful. I want to be successful. I want to be successful. And if I sit down and really just think about it, I can say, Dynasty, you are successful.
Yeah.
If I think about it, like, and for a while I used to be real depressed. Like, even though I was on the radio and stuff, I used to be depressed because I felt like I wasn't where I wanted to be. Looking at social media, being caught up, I'm like, well, dang, when I'm gonna get the money? And I don't feel like I have to be struggling, or when I'm gonna get, the apartment and house, or car or whatever, And I had to tell myself, like, you are doing a lot more than a lot of people you actually know that's your age, or that's my age, and I'm successful.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. And I think, prior to, you having that realization, you're probably looking at success as other people's definition of it. and you have to live by your own.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, they don't understand radio.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I tried to equate radio with the same thing as television. Like, you'll see a lot of people on TV, but they won't necessarily have the financial money that goes with what you think the perception is that they should.
Right.
And I'm like, it's, one, they're getting paid for the job they do at hand. It's the company who owns that content and who licenses it and gets the advertisement from it because they have the data to show that, they pulling these type of people or whatever. I'm like, the person that's right there in front of the camera is not necessarily the person who's in control.
Right.
The person who owns the medium.
Yep.
So, people are misguided when it comes to entertainment, radio, TV, music, all that stuff.
But like you said, honestly, it just goes back to the brand, and like that's with radio. People think I get paid like buku's hella money. And I'm like, really? If y'all really seen what my paycheck was?
You're probably way underpaid for what you do.
You would not want to do what I do.
But it's because you have a passion.
Right.
And then, so you're also focused on, other things outside of that. You're using the platform for what it is.
Yes. And like I said, I get to network and meet other people, which put me in other positions. Like right now, I'm actually working on a music business empowerment conference that's going to be in Atlanta next weekend. But I'm working under a lady named Arlinda Garrett, and she's been in the industry for a very long time, 25 plus.
MBE flyer, I think I saw.
Yep, MBE flyer.
I probably would have went to that one. I just came back from the CD Baby one in Nashville a couple weeks ago. Definitely a dope conference. I would definitely advocate any independent artists out there because it was a do-it-yourself music business conference. 3-day, I bought the tickets when they were on sale for $69 for 3 days.
Oh, yeah. And see, right now, we got to buy one, get one free. So it's for $50. So, yeah. And I mean, we have artist packages and stuff like that, too. And this is her 3rd year doing it. I went last year and hosted some things for her. And she loved me. And she was like, I want you to be on my team this year. And so now I'm working on the team, but I'm still going to be hosting,
doing double duties.
Yeah. But it's all good because I just, like I said, I get to network and meet a lot of people. And people from the record labels that come down to the radio station, they saw me and they like, well, what you doing here? Because they're so used to seeing me working with radio. My boss. And I'm like, I made money moves too, like,
exactly.
Without my boss.
Money move.
So,
definitely. So as far as that particular like hosting and stuff, you're allowed to go out and do outside ventures. You don't have an exclusive contract with the radio station.
No.
Okay. So if somebody in the Middle Georgia area or beyond, y'all want to hire Moma Deee, she is available.
Yes, I am available. I'm telling you. Now my schedule will be a little crazy. Usually 2
months in advance.
Yes, for real. But I do not mind coming. Y'all just let me know what the pay is or whatever, and I'm there. Okay, and I've even done some free stuff too. It's sometimes it's all about the experience and networking. So yeah.
So I think people should be honest with that approach as well, especially with a lot of different promoters who are putting on events and stuff. I'm like, just let them know what your budget is, and if you can pay them, then pay them. If you can't, then let them know up front. And I think people are more willing to work with you when you're transparent.
Yes.
Up front. And not trying to be like shady or whatever. That actually goes into like another stuff, a lot of different stuff that I do as far as consultations and with business and just presenting yourself and with the music industry. Trying to tell people, look, stop being like shady or trying to
get over
that quick. Yeah, get over. And just let people know what you're dealing with. And people will be more keen to and more receptive to you and what you got going on if you're open and honest.
Right.
And then that can lead to other things.
Right.
And I'm like, it's like, I don't know, it's like breathing to me, but to other people they act like it's like, Einstein's E equals MC squared or something. I'm like you trying to figure out some complicated formula.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's not complicated. It's actually simple.
Yeah, that's true.
So as far as any aspiring radio personalities or anyone who wants to work in radio, regardless if they're behind the mic or behind the scenes, what would be a first step that you would suggest that they do?
Make sure you know that this is something you want to do. Like, people come to the radio station and be like, oh, I love music. Mm-hmm. It's more than just I love music when you come to the radio station. I didn't know that, but me coming to the radio station, I'm like, well, I love music, and that's one thing my boss told me. It's more than just music. So know that it's beyond just, oh, well, I like this song, I like that song. It's a lot of songs we play that I don't like, but that's not my choice. That's not up to me at the end of the day.
Those numbers.
Right, So for one, I would just say, make sure you know that this is something that you would really want to do. It's because it is a job, And then even on top of that, once you do get in, just continue to learn as much as you can, because you never know where that can take you. I never would have thought that I would be doing production. Like, I'm a production manager right now, and honestly, I'm like, y'all, I don't know how to put together no commercials, but I learned, and I wasn't slow or anything. Like, I always knew how to
it's just the field that and wasn't necessarily that you can naturally gravitate towards. It takes the learning curve,
right?
Or a business term, economies of scale.
Oh, okay, economies of scale.
Basically, doing the job
right
over and over and over, and then what took you 8 hours in the beginning now only takes you 4 or 3.
And I don't mind
through repetition so much.
I don't mind asking for help if I need help. Like, I had to, have some of the DJs like, look, help me, what's the bells and the whistles on how to use this? Like, just let me know. I knew how to edit, just because, like I said, I used to do, like, film, so I know how to edit audio. But as far as in putting, like, extra effects on the voice and learning, like, the volumes on, what should be higher or lower, I didn't know any of that. So I had to have, like, them help me and show me, to the point now, like, okay, Moma Deee doing her own commercials, like, and the more that I do them, I hear myself getting better and better and better. Yeah. So just have an open mind. You have to have an open mind. Everybody have different personalities. I can definitely say that. But that's all I think about.
You see so many successful stories out of radio. There are people who go on to become production people, behind the scenes and start producing shows, and they go into film. And I think it's a stepping stone for any different career that you want to have.
Yeah.
Because once you learn that, because you have to learn so many different things, because radio stations don't just have this whole influx of cash available, so they have to do things on a very tight budget, and that means that one person gets to wear like 6 different hats. So you learn all these different skill sets.
And you have to be willing to know, like, this is your position. They're not going to tell you, oh, well, you're going to be doing A, B, C, and D, E. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to tell you that. But when you get in that position, they're going to throw it to you, especially being at an independent company. Everybody wears multiple hats, multiple hats. And at the end of the day, it's about teamwork. And if you're not team oriented, then this will not be for you. It's not about it's about, okay, team. Because when one person fail, then that's it. Like, once I leave here, I gotta go back to the radio station and handle some business, just because nobody else knew how to do the business that needed to be handled. So I have to go do that. But at the end of the day, I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, this is my radio station. You treat it as if this is yours and you want to be the best. And when people talk about my radio station, I feel some type of way about it. I get offended about it, because I work hard. We work hard for what we're doing to make the station, sound better than Blazing or 97 or whatever, which, they're the iHeart and the Clear Channel, the Heritage Station or whatever. So we got that busting our behinds, and but people don't, kind of see that. They just it's radio.
It's just radio or whatever. Not, like I said, I definitely commend y'all on all the support that y'all give independent artists, and the way that y'all do stuff. So I'm always tune in when, I'm playing the radio. That I just don't play the radio a whole lot, because I'm so now, like I think I listen to like 90% indie music, and that's just the way I am now because I deal with the indie artists, and you know, dealing with them, I realize there's a lot of talented independent artists.
It is.
They just don't have the budget, or they don't. It's not necessarily getting the shot because I don't think it's the shot. I think we all create our own opportunities, and there's not one particular opportunity that just breaks somebody. I don't believe in that. I believe you just successfully complete each task, and you've done built up this momentum. That the momentum creates like a synergy, and then it helps catapult you forward because you've been laying this solid foundation for
X consistent.
Yeah, so I love the fact that y'all do that. You know, you might not get to play every, you know, independent artist that you want to, but Blazing and the other one, they not playing any. So
now, what we do have as well, we have a segment called Georgia Power Hour, and so basically Georgia Power. Well, Georgia Power Hour is basically playing a whole bunch of like artists from Georgia. So whether you're an independent artist, whether you Ludacris, T.I., whatever, you know. So it's just that hour where it's nothing but Georgia artists, but majority of it is independent artists, you know. So we definitely have that. Super Dave, he's picking that back up actually on Sunday. So that's gonna tie into his whole mixtape Monday, and then on Sundays, you know, they listen to him or whatever. Indie artists, independent artists, you know. So that's another way, you know, to get plugged in. Like I said, use your resources too. Like it's DJs here that talk to you, you know. Now I don't say what they're gonna be trying to prove or whatever, you know. But just holler at them.
I believe the artists, they should look at it as it's a two-way street. Me per se, as far as like, you know, certain DJs, you know, charging artists as far as like to spin their songs at clubs and stuff like that. I go both. I'm on the fence on that one because I understand it from both angles. One, I think, you know, I don't think a DJ should get $100 for, you know, spinning your record one time.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's way too. I'm like, shit, you can pay me $100 now. I'll promote yourself for a whole month. You know what I'm saying? So that right there don't do nothing. I'm like, you have to understand how a record has to be broken. And the consumer has to hear it over and over and over and over and over in order for it to start translating into their head.
Right.
That, you know, it's something that sounds familiar. It like goes back to brand.
Right.
You know, that is your brand. That is your representation. That's your product. So that's what people are going to know you by. But at the same time, I get out here and network.
Yes.
There's a lot of lazy artists around here. A lot of talented, lazy artists.
You said that now. You said that. You said that.
I tell them all the time. Like, I'll sit there and give artists nuggets. Like, because I did it. Like, I still make music, but I don't do it at the capacity I used to. Not because I don't want to. It's just, I got all these other things I'm doing.
Right.
You know, it's more of a, I guess, hobby now than it is I was focusing on. And the only reason I did it because when I had Bankedoutt Entertainment, the artist I was trying to work with at the time didn't understand, and I'm like, I'm not finna spend $4,000 or $5,000 on promoting you, and you're not even committed to, you know, one, breaking some sales off where, you know, we can split this where I can get some of my money back.
Right.
But then if I'm gonna outwork you, what are you there for? I could do this myself. So that's what ended up happening. I ended up putting out like 4 projects. I made $600 in 1 month off of YouTube alone.
Oh, yeah.
All my stuff registered copyrights. Got them in the file cabinet, you know, collecting dust. All my stuff is, like, I'm certified on Spotify or whatever. Got the little blue check and everything.
And see, that's things that they need to know. Like, when I ask people, you know, well, where can they find you at? And they just like, you can find me on my Facebook page. Like, no.
People need the convenience. And that's what they don't think about. It's about the consumer convenience. So that's why you have to be at all these different places. I know a lot of artists that don't even put their stuff online. And I'm like...
How are people going to know who you are and what your music sound like?
Especially with the numbers. I'm like the music conference I just came back from, I'm like, that's what one of the workshops we were talking about. The, like, you know, half of the world is online now. And then of that, you know, 3.5 billion, 60 to 80% of those people receive information through phones.
Right.
So, that's a huge market. You should be in somebody's phone. Like, there's no reason why you can't sell 1 million records. Like, as an independent artist. Like if you really put, forth the effort toward it and everything. I'm like, you could be crappy to one person, but you sound great to somebody else. There's a consumer out there you just have to be able to reach them and find them. But you got to put in that work too.
And one thing, and like you were saying, even with social media, it has its good and it has its bad. Like they have sponsored, ads where you can be sponsored on Facebook. And, they might be tired of seeing your face pop up, but at least they gonna know who Lil Jigaboo is when, they, scroll down because it's sponsored, I
got a funny story for that.
Oh, Lord.
Like, I spent a lot of money on Facebook advertising. And with Bankedoutt Music Group, at one particular point, I was spending so much on ads that I started populating in other people's timeline.
Oh, wow.
They then hit up the page and were like, I am so sick of seeing your ads all over my timeline. I'm like, I don't even like your page. I'm like, but your friends do. So that's why you keep seeing me. So you got 7 of your friends that like my stuff. Of course it's going to suggest to you. That's the algorithm in Facebook. But, they didn't understand that. But I took it as a compliment. Like, oh, I'm doing something right. Because they got, the company did like, a lot of artists. They don't have artist page. They just want to use their personal profile. I'm like, stop doing it. It makes you look so unprofessional.
You need to have
it's
somewhere where
different things. Like I definitely want to, and I've actually had talks with various people. I definitely want to like host a workshop.
Yes.
Where we go through like, artist one-on-one stuff, being professional, networking,
You might do your own conference.
That's what I'm going to do, but because of the way I want to do it, it's going to require nice little size capital.
Okay.
So I'm gonna probably have to like go in with a couple of different people as far as making it our little business event.
Right.
And then I'm sorry, the people gonna have to get charged because I ain't gonna do it in some rinky dink place or whatever.
Yeah.
We got to come out.
That's the whole purpose of it. Like you paying your money for it, like to come out learning something.
Exactly. You get all these different people. You get access to all these people you normally wouldn't probably have access to, and they wouldn't give you the time of day.
Exactly.
So but I think it can be done, especially down here. It's needed.
Yes.
I don't feel that people should run to Atlanta for everything.
And that is true. But something that I've learned, and I hate to say this, is I've done a couple of things here in Macon, and I just seen like the support isn't like real big in Macon. And it bothers me just a little sometimes because I'm like, why aren't we supporting each other? But y'all are running to go to Atlanta and do the whatever. But what about what's going on here in your city? Why aren't you supporting what's here?
I think because I've been running into a lot of people who are sort of like, to me, you're an alpha person. Right. So you do things and you set the trend. Yeah. I think all the alpha people need to get together. And once all the alpha people get together and start working it, and they see a cohesiveness and a unison, it's going to change the mindset of all these other, B people.
And that's the thing. The alpha people need to come together and want to work together and not be where I'm the one, the head honcho who came up. Once again, it's about team. Exactly. And we're actually in the process. When I say we, DJ Teddy, rather, one of the DJs who works with us, she's in the process and she's already started. She started last month, actually, at this place called the Thirsty Turtle. It used to be The Mill. It's a club. And she's doing like artist showcase. And I brought her to Atlanta with me for an artist showcase that I went to, working with Miss Arlinda. I call her my mentor. And she saw how everything was like organized and stuff, and she was like, Moma Deee, thank you so much for bringing me. This brought everything that I wanted to do to life. And so now she's kind of tweaking, doing her own thing to really make the artist showcase something big. Like, and I told her, I said, I believe that it can be huge. Like, it's you have to be it's only strictly for rappers or nothing. Like, it's anybody. You have country music, bluegrass, rock, whatever you decide you want to do. Like, come, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like that's the only way people will really be able to hear your music and see if this is what they like, So yeah, we're definitely trying to get that rolling and stuff like that. And I think it's an amazing idea.
Okay, just let me know. I help out whatever I can.
True. And me and Breon really appreciate you guys. You in Jamaica or whatever. They like real cool, y'all. I'm glad I didn't have no problems with you. I just gotta keep saying it because he real cool.
Yeah, I definitely want to bring back the industry and because I have fallen in love with the Middle Georgia area and the rich music history that it has.
Right. Yes.
And that is so much opportunity. And like people say, oh, you can't make money in making. I'm like, that's a damn lie because I live in it every day. It's how you go about doing it. And
right.
I think people's mindset, they're limited on how they think they should make money.
Right.
And I'm like, there's so many different ways to make money and so many different culturally diverse people in this city. And I'm like, when I look at downtown, I remember when they first started building like towards the I-16 side or whatever, and then it slowly transitioned all the way to. And I remember when didn't nobody go downtown. Now it's like the popping hub or whatever. And I'm like, you got bunch of little ride along things you can hop on and just go from one place to the next downtown.
What's my Uber?
No, not Uber. It's like a little thing sponsored by the city or whatever, like a little ride you can get on. It looks like a little golf cart looking thing. I don't know if they got a whole lot of them, or whatever, but I've seen them downtown.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's things like that, and you got these different. I'm like, you got a beer distillery downtown.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's huge.
Yeah.
Your own local beer now.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how people feel about the alcohol or whatever, but I'm like, that's huge. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that brings in revenue. That, brings other opportunities. Eventually, they might end up doing their own little, music festival or whatever.
But that's why I say people have to be open-minded as well. Like, don't just limit yourself to say, well, I'm just going to the booty club or something like that. Because then if the booty club ain't jumping that day, then you're like, it ain't nothing to do. It's a lot to do. You just have to go out there and discover whatever it is out there. Like, go somewhere new. You never know who you may meet. You never know. It's students that go to Mercer, all the time that possibly could have projects who looking for, you just never know.
The funny thing about that is that, what was it, with Billy Sloan one time, he was talking about getting a video done. I was like, dude, just go to Mercer. I'm like, they got a mass communication, I think, department. I was like, just hit them up, and there's interns always. Oh. Like, I'm always trying to go to colleges and stuff and find kids who need the experience.
Right, yes.
And therefore, I don't have to pay them.
Right.
So, we both get something out of it.
Right.
I get to keep some capital and focus it on something else. Mm-hmm. And then they get the experience and get to put it on their resume.
Yep.
So, I'm like, it's a win-win situation. But I'm like, all these different colleges, you got Wesleyan, you got the Middle Georgia State University, you got Central Georgia Tech, you got Mercer. You got some Virginia College,
Cochran. What is it? Middle Georgia, GMC.
Yeah, all
that. Milledgeville. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the military college. I forgot about them. That's in East Macon. But yeah, you got all these different colleges, all these different students that come, and then they disperse and go back out into the world wherever they come from. So I don't know. Like, I was really inspired going to that particular conference because prior to that. I had went to what is that thing in Savannah? Tybee Island, the
Orange Crush.
Yeah, I went to that.
You went to Orange Crush?
Yeah, I went to Orange Crush.
When did you go to Orange Crush?
This past April. Oh, I was pissed too.
I did not go this year.
Well,
oh man,
you don't need to go any other year because basically I heard Tybee Island wanted to shut the thing down, and they finally did.
Really?
Yes,
they've been trying to shut it down since I was a freshman, 2009.
Well, they succeeded because it was nothing but all of us just walking around on the beach. They would not let the vendors set up. All the DJs, because it was supposed to be a DJ competition as well. None of them got to set up their equipment. It was just all this traffic. I spent all this money. But I did make some contacts, and I did meet with some folks, and I went down with 3 other people. The thing that pissed me off was originally, because I managed some artists too, but I'm not taking on no new artists. I'm not doing that because I spent too much money on my side, and these artists just
blew it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I've managed country, R&B, rap, all sorts of stuff. But anyway, I had an artist that was originally on the flyer, and he had learned about it through a woman in Albany who has their own radio station as well and podcast. He couldn't go, so I replaced him with another artist I know, and we got down there Friday. Here it is Saturday. We're gonna go to we at IHOP. We're gonna go over to the beach or whatever. She called me. She's like, man, Andre, you're going to be mad. I'm like, why am I going to be mad? because the DJ's not coming. They don't have a ride. What? The DJ's not coming. They're not having a ride. I'm not gonna be there either. What? Yeah, half of the artists that we had on the flight, they're not coming either. What?
All bad for business.
Yeah, so I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this no more. Set up, I want my community to be uplifted, but some of the time, my people shoot themselves in their own foot. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't do business like this.
Yep. But that's the thing though. Like, and I hate to say it, but we don't do business well, and it's crazy because they do pretty good, and my mama always like, you need to work with them, you need to work. I don't want to say, I don't like people, but she's like, because they handle business well versus with us. I mean, I feel like every now and then I will find some great black people that will do great business, but it's just sometimes it's so hard, and it's like then that's why we so mad when it's like, well, I don't want to support black owned businesses and da 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 da.
I still support black owned business. I go out my way to find black owned businesses and do business with them. Now I do understand why we can't get a threshold, a foothold into business and really take it over, because we've never had anything. So we're still learning as a people over the course of time. Right. So we're still playing catch up. But at some point, you're gonna have to let the people fall by the wayside and keep going, because the only way to really sustain yourself is to have your core base, but then you have to expand that as well. So I do business with black folks, I do business with white folks. I don't care, money all green to me.
True.
But I do try to put money back in a lot of black folks' pocket and try to find other black businesses to support. It's just hard finding the right ones. It's not hard finding them, because we are out there. There's 2.6 million black businesses in the United States. 2.5 million of those are mom and pop shops, which is crazy, because more people, like, from a business standpoint and economics, they think that we should open up more businesses when we really shouldn't. We should support the ones that are already out there and get them to that threshold of, okay, they got 7, 8, 12, 15, 30 employees working for them. They can make moves. As opposed to just trying to reinvent the wheel. Because that's all we're doing with that. But at the same time, I got to keep things moving too. So I try to teach them and stuff. That's why I want to do like some business workshops and stuff. I just got to have the time. And I think after all these different projects, Dope Show. The Bankedoutt radio show, and then the visual with the Evident Bankedoutt News Network is going to be the new thing, and then Hustlepreneur with Jay Sims, which is very dope, by the way. And anybody who hasn't seen it, I should definitely
seen it. Is that with the whole beautiful me thing?
No, that's a different segment with.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole separate production. We got to wrap up, but anyway, a lot of stuff out. I'll send the links to you and stuff like that. But Moma Deee, I appreciate it. I had a very good time.
I had a great time with you all as well. It was so much fun. It's my first time doing like a real, podcast, I guess, if you would. But it was so much fun. You guys can follow me if you would like on my IG, Royal Dynasty, and it's Royal ROYAL Dynasty DYNASTIE __.
All right, and there you have it. This is Moma Deee. Appreciate it. Y'all go follow her and look out for everything that she has in the future.
Yes.